Every single brand knows about the power of perspectives. Let me tell you a story. It was 2003 and two men were on a mission to start a sneaker brand. But they weren't like any other ordinary sneaker brand. They had a trick up their sleeve. They would only sell 50 pairs at a time. No big advertising campaigns, no massive slogans, no celebrity endorsements, just scarcity. Within months, full-blown fights took place in the streets due to the high demand of the product. And these shoes, they were nothing special at all. These shoes weren't even the most comfortable. They weren't even the most best looking. But the brand created this undeniable bandwagon that no one, literally no one, wanted to feel left out. This brand is none other than the streetwear giant Supreme. We all know them for their iconic red text box logo slapped on every single product. They understood something that some brands in the market did not or yet had to understand. Humans don't buy products at all. They buy perspectives. These shoes weren't even for wearing. They ended up being the status symbol. They ended up being a collector's item for many sneakerheads and non-sneakerheads. Supreme created this scarcity that increased the perceived value and desirability of the product. There are so many countless brands out there just like Supreme who really aren't selling your product, but an idea, a way to look into the world at their perspective. These brands have realized that the power of shaping perspectives makes us believe that what they sell is not just a better want, but a more essential need. Let's start with one of the biggest companies in the planet, a part of the American Big Five along with Google, Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft, Apple Inc. Apple launched a very interesting campaign in the late 90s. The company was at one of its lowest points in its history, ousting CEOs, failed products that failed to break the market. Apple really wanted to revitalize their brand image and simplify their stream of products. However, with this campaign, they wanted to do something new. They didn't mention their products at all. Instead, it simply featured black and white images of famous people like Einstein, Gandhi, Amelia Earhart, and Picasso, and so many others. All of these people had one thing in common. They all challenged the world by changing the norm. Apple wanted to create this perspective that owning their product was just more than an expensive purchase. It was a statement on who you were as a person. Apple wanted to make the customer feel like they were a part of this innovative, this problem-solving community who was capable of making a dent in the universe. Nike, another perfect example. Whenever you buy Nike, you aren't just buying sneakers or you aren't buying sportswear. You're buying into this idea that you too can be an athlete and that the only limit really is yourself. The iconic slogan, "Just do it," perfectly solidifies this perspective. It was and never still is about jumping the highest or running the fastest. It was always about breaking the barriers. And Nike proved this perspectives even in their advertisement. A Nike campaign, when you look at it really closely, it never tells you about the new sweat absorption technology or the art support in their shoes. It tells you about who you can become, a person that you can be by just breaking the limits. Kobe Bryant pouncing on opponents filled with sweat, Serena Williams dominating the tennis court, Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 30-yard beauties, and Eliud Kipchoge breaking marathon records. Nike sells aspirations. Humans just like you and me being great athletes by just ignoring the limits. And when a brand sells you this mindset, this idea to believe in, they just don't gain customers, they gain loyal, faithful followers. So far, we've seen how brands create perspectives about their products, entirely new ones. What about brands that have existing products that already have a bad report? Is the business just guaranteed bad luck? Nope. Some brands reinforce entire perspectives whenever things go wrong. Let's take one of the biggest fast food chains in the current time, for example, McDonald's. McDonald's was the literal symbol of unhealthiness, weight problems, dietary issues, high sugar, and low nutrition. Instead of fighting the narrative, they flipped it instead. McDonald's took on the challenge differently. Nowadays, all that they really talk about is fresh ingredients, sustainability, and plant-based options. All of their products were kept intact. Nothing was changed at all. But what they changed was their perspective. They reinforced this message that we can still be the memorable fast food restaurant that we have been for the last 50 years, but we can show ourselves differently. We can make a change with our perspective. All of a sudden, McDonald's wasn't really about unhealthy food, but it was more about responsible and modern fast food. This shows us how powerful perspective can be. It can reshape the entire way we view a company, even one that has a reputation lasting for decades. One more. Let's think of an energy drink. I think one of the first things that would come into our mind is that iconic Red Bull logo. It would be the first company that would come into our minds. It's a very, very high chance. But have you ever wondered why that is? Any reason why? I've heard so many negative things about Red Bull. Red Bull probably tastes like cough syrup to a lot of you. And not just that, Red Bull is also known for having a lot of health-related issues associated with it. But even still, people still turn to Red Bull. Why is that so? It's because Red Bull sells this identity. It doesn't just sell an energy drink for refreshment, it sells this completely different adrenaline-filled identity that nothing is impossible. Have you ever gone to the YouTube channel of Red Bull, for example, and just looked it up? Never once do they actually talk about their products and the way the drink tasted or the ingredients that were presented in it. Instead, they associated themselves with extreme activities and adrenaline-filled events. The first time that I saw BMX as a kid was not even on the Olympics, it was on the Red Bull YouTube channel. From crazy stunts on mountains to literally jumping, free-falling from space, Red Bull doesn't just give us wings, it literally shows us how. And by sponsoring these high-risk adrenaline-filled energy events, they've shifted our perspective of energy drinks. No longer is Red Bull this refreshing poison for people to drink, but a symbol of fearlessness, a symbol that you can do the impossible. And the crazy part, even people who don't even drink Red Bull, people who have never even tried energy drinks in their life associate Red Bull with this perspective. That's literally perspective shifting at its finest. Notice how so many brands out there with false perspectives upon them shifted it, or brands that don't really have a perspective completely created a new one to make the product look more desirable, to make the product stand out in the industry. And I feel like if we really, really think about it, in the hands of the right storyteller, even the most ordinary story can sound like a fairy tale. A simple sneaker from Supreme being the symbol of exclusivity. A simple pair of shorts from Nike or some brand new sneakers from them can become the symbol of breaking the limits. And the blue and silver can from Red Bull showing that you can do the impossible. A hamburger from McDonald's being the symbol of modern and responsible fast food. They realized that the most powerful currency in the world isn't really money, it's actually perspectives. And if brands can shift our perspectives, if we really think about it, imagine what we as humans can do to shift our perspective as well. What we as humans can do if we choose to shape our own. Imagine the life you could build by not living in someone else's perspective, but by writing your own. Imagine a life where you could live by changing the world, by showing people your perspective, your way of living life. A truly unique and different story. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great